Okay, now we're going to talk about anatomical axes. So we talked about planes. Now, there are two things with planes, right? It can be how the body is dissected or cut, but it can also be how a plane where we move, like the movement is occurring in a specific plane. So it's a little different, and it might take a little bit of sort of breaking down in order to understand this. So let's take an example of this person right here, or the skeleton, I should say. He is bending forward, which is flexion, and then extension. So anytime a movement occurs, what you want to ask yourself are actually two questions. What plane or direction is the movement occurring in? And what axis is the movement around? So those are the two things. Now remember, anatomical planes are not just how the body's cut. It is a plane where movement can occur. So it might take a bit to wrap your head around this, but let's do it together. So you saw this person flexing and extending at the torso. Let's analyze that. So in a flexion and extension, what happens is we need to figure out the plane that the movement is occurring in, and then we also need to figure out the axis. So the plane is going to be the sagittal plane, right? Because you're moving this way. So think about that piece of paper that you saw in the craft activity, right? The green one, you're moving in that plane. So that's actually going to be your sagittal plane. Now, in order to figure out the axis, what you'd have to do is figure out what is it moving around for that motion to occur. So if you took a pole from the left side and through the midsection, through the waist and to the right, that would be called the mediolateral or transverse axis. And that's what flexion and extension movement is around, right?